Now I'd like to introduce another class act, Barbie Whitehead, who will share her family's experience with our Adult Day program. And as she tells you their story, you will realize that she is a prime example of caring for others before her own needs are necessarily met. I want to thank Barbie for sharing her time for this presentation, and also for her presentation to a group called 100 Plus Women Who Care, who chose to make donations to St. John's Community Care after hearing Barbie. Barbie, thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for inviting me into your community today. Like Nancy said, I was asked several weeks ago to speak to a group of women called the 100 Plus Women Who Care in the 618. I was asked to speak about St. John's Community Care. It was an opportunity to share both the facts of their programs and the experience that my family had in order to educate these women and also to entice them to make donations. Many of you sitting in the audience today or at home are aware of the mission of St. John's Community Care. Some of you may have spent time volunteering in their programs, or you may have had family members who are participants. But some of you might not be aware or unsure of exactly what services they provide to our community. I'll share with you now what I shared with this amazing group of women. St. John's was founded in 1985 in Collinsville, just around the corner here, as an outreach program to help the elderly homebound members of this church community. That initial idea has grown exponentially over the last 35 years, and they now service people of all faiths in more than 10 Metro East communities. While their primary service is adult daycare for the elderly, the memory impaired, and those needing a safe place for their loved ones during the workday. They operate 2 centers, one here in Collinsville and a second one in Edwardsville. And they're currently working on a capital campaign to help build a much-needed 3rd facility. As our adult population continues to grow and Alzheimer's and dementia diagnoses are at an all-time high, the services they provide are in great need. In addition to providing adult daycare, St. John's works diligently with the communities that they serve to offer support and services to the loved ones of their clients, people like me, people like my family. They include caregiver support groups, resource meetings to help educate the caregivers, medical equipment loaner programs, and much, much more. But here's why it matters to me. My mom, Kathy, was diagnosed with a horrific disease called Lewy body dementia with both Parkinson's and Alzheimer's just after her 60th birthday, more than 13 years ago. In the early days following her diagnosis, she would spend her days driving around with my dad. But she would get very, very tired and sleep a lot, and it wasn't safe for my dad to leave her in a hot car while he checked on a client's roof. We had some friends that offered to stay with her for a few hours here and there, and that was fine. I was self-employed and lived in St. Louis, so I spent a lot of my time working from my parents' house and trying to make the best of a really not so great situation. And then it happened. I went to my parents' house one night, and I was there to give my mom a bath and help clean her up. And she had no idea who I was. I knew immediately we needed outside professional help. So my dad and I soon visited multiple places that offered adult daycare services, and I left every single one of them in tears. They didn't appear safe. The staff was disheveled. In my mind, it looked more like the Humane Society for adults than a place that I would ever consider leaving someone as precious as my sweet mother. We were looking for a place where Mom's mind and body could be stimulated in a safe and enriching environment. And then we found St. John's. St. John's is a community, a business founded in spiritual principles that kept my mom safe, entertained, and generally happy, while nurturing her caregivers and giving Dad and I those much-needed breaks. I have 4 sisters, 3 that live out of state, 1 that lives nearby, but the bulk of Mom's care came down on Dad and I. They say it's always one kid in the family. I'm that kid. My mom spent 3.5 years attending adult day services at St. John's, and We only stopped coming because it became physically impossible for their staff to move my mom as she became completely immobile. The ladies at St. John's, angels on earth. Our family continues to support St. John's in any way possible, whether it's donating money, donating equipment, and my dad pays to have the very entertaining balloon guy come to both facilities each year. I recently had the opportunity to have lunch with Nancy a while back, and she told me about how they're trying to expand their outreach programs to caregivers, which I personally know is instrumental to the care of their clients. Because when our journey started, I had no idea how to transfer my mom from her bed to the wheelchair safely, how to safely bathe her, how to brush her teeth without getting my fingers bit. And that happened. A lot, it happened. St. John's was instrumental in supporting our family in ways we didn't even know we needed. They did launch a new program last year that I hear is very successful called Brainwave. It's specifically designed to help those suffering from mild cognitive impairment and early memory loss. So I ask each of you today to think of someone you may know who may be in need of the services they provide. Think about your own parents. Think about how you would handle it if one of them suddenly could not be left alone safely. Think of how your life would change if all of a sudden you had nowhere to turn to for help in a situation completely out of your control. Think about where you'd want to put your own mom and dad. I know you're picturing a safe, happy place where clients are treated with love and respect and their caregivers are supported emotionally and spiritually. That place is St. John's. I encourage each of you, if you need help or you know someone who does, please reach out and ask for help. You cannot do this alone, and St. John's will help you navigate this journey. So on behalf of our family, I say thank you, and I ask God's blessings on all of you. Thanks.